Hey fam, let's get ready to program our day or to cleanse the day we had, whether you're doing this in the morning or the evening. And that's what mirror work helps to do. If you do it in the morning, it helps to set the course of your day. But if your schedule doesn't allow and you can only do it in the evening or before bed, it can help cleanse the day that you had and help you to reset for tomorrow. If you can only do mirror work in the pickup line for your kids, do it then, right? Don't let there be an excuse to not do it. Anytime you do mirror work is a great, 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 beautiful, the best time to do it. The operative word is to do it. So today, we're going to be, I'm sorry, I got green shake all on my lips. Here's one thing about mirror work that people don't understand. Normally, folks go in with affirmations and declarations, and all of those things are great. But the purpose of mirror work, looking yourself solidly, firmly in the eye, no makeup, no to-dos, just getting raw and bare with yourself, is to really be honest with what you're putting out. What's your mirror vision? What are people seeing? You know, there's that disconnect between what you want, what you're calling in, what you're believing for, versus your energetic self, your frequency, what you are putting out. If you are putting out discord, if that's what you're mirroring to the world, if you're mirroring angst, if you are predispositioned to expect disappointment, you can't call in those other things, because what you embody in your energetic field is completely different. It's a total contrast to what you want and what you're calling in. So with mirror work, it allows you the opportunity to get clear and raw with yourself. Okay? Looking at yourself to get a true impression of, how am I showing up every day? I say I want love, but am I closed and abrasive? Be honest. Look yourself in the eye and be honest about that. No judgment, but be honest about what it is you want and the energy in which you're standing. What are you emitting when people look at you? What are you emitting? So let's start by looking at ourselves. Taking a moment. Today, I open up and I make myself available to receive all of the good that I want, that I desire to have, that are my birthright. Today, I will embody love. Today, I receive love. Today, I embody peace. Today, I open myself up to receive peace. Today, I embody wisdom and discernment. So today, I open myself up to receive wisdom and discernment. Take a moment and sit with that. That's a little easier to do than giving you some great ways to go in this, because a lot of times folks can't go in saying, I love myself, I am beautiful. People, no. Depending on your level of brokenness. Sometimes I was so low, as I said in my other video, I couldn't look myself in the face. And it's not necessarily because I had done some egregious, offensive things, but it's just all of the things that happened, all of the things that I lived through, all of the victories or things that I overcame and turned into victories were still very hard to deal with, right? So this is a great introduction into doing mirror work so that you don't have to worry about whether or not you believe it. Okay? It's just understanding that you want it. Because you do want good in your life. It's just sometimes you just don't really believe. Not so much that you deserve it, but that it can still happen. So the essential oil that we're going to use today, because I love this oil, I love using oils because it creates such a beautiful atmosphere when you're using real oils. And, check in my bio or whatever for the oils that I recommend. But we're going to use lemongrass. I already put it on, but I'll go back over it with you. Lemongrass helps you to shift from negative emotions of toxic or negative energy, which is one of the main reasons why you don't mirror out into the world at the frequency that you want. I don't care what happened. You're still here. I don't care if you're in it now. I was about to say you've overcome it. I don't care if you're in it now. If you still want to receive good, if you still want to receive love, if you still want to receive joy, we're going to have to release some of these things. Even if it's only in your mind, right? Even if right now you're in the height of a custody battle or divorce, or, you're in a job where you're being taken advantage of, whatever the situation, you cannot wait till the situation changes to start receiving the good that you want. Because by that time, you'll be so tainted that you will believe that you will never receive. So in the midst of, I don't care what you're going through. Don't say, well, Michelle, you don't know. If I start telling my story, you'd be crying before I got to my 10th birthday with the things I could share. Okay? So it's not about what you're going through, no matter how bad it is. It's what you project. And that's important because it makes you receptive to receive. Okay? So we're going to use some of this lemongrass to help release those negative emotions, toxic negative energy, that energy of despairing, holding on to the past. Sometimes, and there are two situations I can talk about specifically when I held on to the story too long. And one was with my mother's illness and being her advocate through the medical system, which which is how I became a health coach, because I was amazed by what was going on there. But the other thing is, too, when I left my oil down here, um, going through or going through all of the Hurricane Katrina situations. We're going to do a deep mask. So first I'm starting with some very beautiful, clean castor oil. Castor oil is incredible for your skin. So we're going to do a steam after this. But there came a point where I just had to let those stories go, right? Everything I said was true. Everything did happen. Everything was as horrible as I said it was. But there came a point when that story didn't serve me anymore. In fact, to tell the story brought me back to a place that wasn't pleasant. Okay? So be mindful of how long you're reciting that story. And that's what, when I'm working with my clients in session, it's okay, can we put that story aside now? Because you can't keep telling the story from the wound, okay? Because wounds continue needing to be dressed. That's why they're wound care places. Wounds continue to need to be mended and tended to. When you want to tell your story, when I tell that story now of my experiences being pregnant during Hurricane Katrina, or of the 5-year battle that I did with my mother, with advocating for her in the nursing home system and in the medical system, it doesn't bring about that same angst and the awfulness that was the story. Why? Because I now tell those stories from the scar. And when you scar, when a wound scars over and closes, or when a wound closes and the scar forms, it's healed. You're not going back to wound care. You don't have to keep dressing it and redressing it, and you don't have to keep applying ointments and doing stitches and watching it to make sure it doesn't get affected, right? So less mirror work can help you start telling, start scarring, healing wounds, so you can get to the point of the scar. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a moment. Allow the oil to do what it does. Allow it to support you. And if nothing else, remember what I said. Lemongrass helps to to clear toxic or negative energy. Helps you to release the past. Helps to lift spiritual blindness, darkness, and hoarding, even hoarding of stories. That's a big deal. It's one thing to tell the story, it's another thing to keep reliving it. As long as you keep reliving it, it's a wound, not a scar. Okay? So let's go back into the mirror, because we want to shift your energetic frequency, right? Because it is the number one indicator of what you're going to receive in. You cannot go out in the day bound up, tightened, in a fight stance, waiting. The anticipation that something's going to go wrong. Somebody's going to say something. You have to be bucked up to it. You have been bucked up for so long. Trust me, if something happens, you can flip the switch. You know, I tell people I'm only I'm only one switch from my 504 history, right? You press the wrong button, shoop. Evolved Michelle will put you in your place, right? She'll step back. So you don't always have to think that, no, let's set that aside, okay? It's okay to put her down. So put your armor down. Take your armor off so that you can start receiving all of the good that you want to have, right? Let's release feelings of toxic negative energy and receive clarity, spiritual clarity. Let's release holding on to the past and receive non-attachment. Okay? So I receive love. And stop thinking that has to be somebody cuddled up next to you on your arm. Stop thinking that. That is not the only form that love comes in. If you think that is, you're missing all around you. And that's one of the things we said, spiritual cleansing, discernment, okay? I receive love in all its sources and forms because I embody love. I receive peace in all its forms because I embody peace. Peace is my frequency. When you do mirror work, don't be so much concerned about the affirmations and the, what do you want your life to look like? What are you missing right now that you would like to have, that you know that as just as a human being on this earth that you're deserving of? What is that? Let's tap into that when you do your mirror work. Spend time just looking at yourself. Spend time looking in the eyes of the person who knows you better than anybody else, who knows those hurts, those things that you're even afraid to ask for now. They're still available to you. Keep watching and I'll help you get there. In the meantime, DM me, call me, contact me, text me, schedule your free wellness consultation. Sometimes things have been, we talked about hoarding, using this lemongrass to help you shift from hoarding. Sometimes the things are so deep and so complex, those wounds are just festering. You don't even know what they are anymore. You just have the sensation. You don't even have you can't even put the name of what happened that's causing you to feel this way. Reach out, schedule your free consultation. My purpose in life is to help you live your best, healthiest life. To be the best expression of yourself. You deserve that. And the people who are around you in your community and in your vibration, they deserve to see you vibrating at your highest, best self. So reach out to me. I'll see you on the next video.